Welcome to Top 30. Here are today's 30 stories in 30 minutes. In today's special edition of Top 30, we highlight some of the year's greatest advancements in technology, like the ability to control things with your mind. A team of neural engineers in Austria are working to fine-tune brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs for short, to help give severely disabled people the power to compose music with their mind. According to a paper published in PLOS ONE, the innovation in technology was tested on able-bodied people who could copy musical melodies and compose original music using BCIs. The technology has been around for 20 years, but recent advancements target a brain signal called the P300 event-related potential. It allows the BCI to send specifically targeted information so the brain can tell the difference between A, B, C sharp, allowing users to write a musical score. However, since the brain is highly sophisticated and everyone's different, the BCI must be calibrated to each individual user in order to achieve Mozart-like capabilities.
World-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking says the development of artificial intelligence could be the worst event in the history of our civilization if humanity cannot get a grasp on how to control its growth. According to USA Today, the scientist made the comment during a talk he gave at the Web Summit Technology Conference in Lisbon, in Portugal. Hawking said human beings had to consider the risk factor of creating a computer that can, in theory, emulate human intelligence and exceed it. He says the best way to prepare for the technological advances associated with artificial intelligence is to carefully regulate it every step of the way. Hawking is not the only scientist with this opinion. Tesla and SpaceX's CEO Elon Musk and Microsoft founder Bill Gates have also spoken out on the need to oversee the growth of AI. However, Hawking says there's a chance AI could undo the damage done to society at large, truly transforming Earth into a utopia.
The world's first floating wind farm has popped up in Scotland. 5 huge turbines can be seen about 15 miles offshore that are capable of generating enough power to sustain approximately 20,000 homes. Highwind Scotland is responsible for the first of its kind wind farm, and it was no small feat of engineering. Each turbine stands 253 feet above the water, and the remaining 256 feet is tethered to the seabed by 1,200-ton chains. Highwind hopes the clean energy project becomes a worldwide trend, and so do we.
You have got more power than you realize. Scientists have discovered a protein found in tears, saliva, and egg whites that is capable of generating electricity. Published in the journal Applied Physics Letters, scientists in Ireland say the biological material could be used as an energy source for pacemakers and other biomedical devices, a phenomenon called piezoelectricity. The lead author on the study said if you could power it with a piezoelectric material, then you wouldn't need to replace the battery. An incredible discovery that could unlock more potential use in the future.
We could be sharing the road with driverless cars sooner than we think. Barring regulatory setbacks, some car companies are hoping to start selling autonomous models to consumers in just a few years. According to SAY International, the Professional Association for Automotive Engineers, vehicle automation is broken into 6 levels, with level 0 being no automation and level 5 being full automation. Levels 4 and 5 are what we effectively think of as self-driving. Ride-hailing companies like Lyft and Uber could have level 4 cars on the road by as soon as 2019. These cars will be geo-fenced or limited to urban areas that are well mapped with favorable weather conditions. Depending on how driverless cars perform on ride-sharing services, automakers hope to sell level 4 cars directly to consumers by 2021. However, regulators must first decide how safe is safe enough for driverless cars to be on the road. But considering 94% of car crashes are caused by driver error, even just a slight improvement could end up saving a lot of lives.
In today's special edition of Top 30, we highlight some of the year's greatest advancements in technology, like robots, who now have the sense of touch. Researchers developed artificial skin for robots that has the same sensitivity as human skin. Engineers from the University of Washington and UCLA say the new technology can help robots grasp and manipulate objects. The new electronic skin is made from the same rubber used in swimming goggles. It has tiny channels filled with liquid metal that's able to conduct electricity. The liquid was used because it won't crack when stretched like wires. As the fingers hold different items, the shape changes the electric current within the artificial skin, signaling to the robot the size and shape of what it's actually holding. And researchers say the sensor of touch could help robots do everything from cleaning the kitchen to performing surgery.
With more than 8 million commuters, China knows rush hour traffic, which is what gave birth to Project Red Space's latest design, Reds. According to the company, 90% of a car's life is spent stationary, both parked and in traffic. So the team of international designers came up with a way to make the most of that time by turning a car into an office. The mobile workspace has features such as seats that can swivel and slide into the desired position, a desk, a dual screen console that provides entertainment, and sliding doors for tight parking spots. The design is also eco-friendly, with cordless charging as well as solar paneling. While the plan is to have the car on the road in China within the next 2 years, it looks like the LA Auto Show was as close as we'll get for the time being.
A spacecraft has just made a successful test flight without a crew. The Dream Chaser is a reusable space shuttle. It doesn't carry any crew at all, but NASA hopes one day it will carry cargo to the International Space Station. But first, it has to be tested, so the company tied it to a helicopter, lifted it over 2 miles into the air, and let go. Over about a minute, it sped up to 330 miles an hour, performed a maneuver, and then glided about 10 miles to Edwards Air Force Base in California, all without anyone on board. Since the end of NASA's shuttle program, it has encouraged more private companies to develop spacecraft that it can contract to make supply runs. The Dream Chaser is built by the Sierra Nevada Corporation. The company said the test was so successful, the next time we see the automated shuttle in flight, it might be returning from its first mission. Those dreams your kids have of being an astronaut, can 'em.
If you were jealous of Harry Potter's invisibility cloak, but thought it was just a figment of J.K. Rowling's imagination, we have some interesting news for you. Researchers from the Technical University of Vienna believe they have just created a beam of invisibility. The way it works is a concentrated beam of light illuminates an object from above that somehow would make it transparent from the sides. It was previously believed that to make something appear invisible was to reroute the light waves away from the object. However, in a statement, study co-author Andre Brandstuder said, "Our goal was to guide the original light wave through the object as if the object was not there at all. This sounds strange, but with certain materials and using our special wave technology, it is indeed possible." The team is currently still testing the techniques, but if they're successful, one day you just may be able to hide in plain sight.
New technology being developed for the human brain could destroy your privacy. Over a dozen companies are currently working on brain-computer interfaces. Tesla founder Elon Musk has a startup called Neuralink that wants to build one that would allow humans to communicate with computers at the speed of thought. Now a group of 27 neuroscientists and ethicists known as the Morningside Group warn these devices create a new risk of being hacked. They say the technology could allow people's thoughts, decisions, and emotions to be exploited by hackers or corporations and manipulated against their will. Although some would say advertisers have been manipulating our thoughts, decisions, and emotions for years. In today's special edition of Top 30, we highlight some of the year's greatest achievements in technology, like new automation practices that could transform the farming industry. A farm completed its entire harvest with nothing but robots, the first time that has ever been done. A group called the HandsFree Hectare project in England completed the process of planting, tending, monitoring, and harvesting barley without ever stepping foot inside the field. The team modified equipment like a tractor and combine harvester by adding cameras, GPS systems, and lasers. They also used drones to carry soil samples and monitor the field from afar. The process had a few challenges, like the tractor not going in a straight line, damaging some crops, and the researchers joked it was the most expensive harvest ever. But they also say this is the first step towards automation that will eventually be more cost-effective and better for the environment.
We already know the robots are coming. Now we have an idea of what they might look like. Honda has unveiled images of 4 new robots they say could advance mobility and make people's lives better. They're calling the 3E concept, which stands for Empower, Experience, and Empathy. Honda calls the A18 a companion robot. It's supposed to show compassion through facial expressions, which is why it's smiling. The B18 is a motorized chair that can be used indoors and outdoors. For those who need help getting around but also need to carry cargo, there's the C18. It appeared at the Tokyo Motor Show this year as a self-driving cooler. The most rugged-looking design is the D18, a self-driving off-road vehicle that Honda says can support some workers. Honda hopes the friendly design of the vehicles will help them be accepted by humans who might be wary of interacting closely with robots. The robots will appear at the Consumer Electronics Show in January, hopefully with catchier names.
This year brought many innovations in 3D printing, which could end up transforming the fields of tech and medicine. And here are a few inventions that we would like to highlight in particular. First, engineers at the University of Washington have 3D printed plastic devices equipped with sensors that can connect to Wi-Fi without the use of electronics. To break that down, imagine a bottle of laundry detergent that could detect when it's running low on soap and automatically order you more by connecting to the internet. That is exactly the scenario researchers developed and tested. The potential applications for this technology could be endless. Second, researchers at MIT have created a 3D printed living tattoo. Engineers developed a new technique to print ink made of genetically modified living cells. But engineers predict wide-ranging uses for the technology in future, such as living computers with multiple layers of cells that can communicate with each other like transistors on a microchip. And last, a study presented at the Radiological Society of North America could be a game changer for people suffering from hearing loss. Researchers were able to 3D print accurate, custom-designed prosthetic replacements for parts of the middle ear. These new devices could increase the success rate of middle ear surgeries, which often fail due to incorrectly sized prosthetics. A company called Sidewalk Labs is taking over 800 acres in Toronto and will transform it into a high-tech city complete with drone deliveries, self-driving taxis, and shape-shifting crosswalks. The experiment wants to restructure how cars and people interact, so they've created a smart crosswalk in which LED lights in the road surface respond to the movement of people, cyclists, and vehicles. For example, if a distracted pedestrian starts to cross against the light, the sidewalk beneath lights up with a personalized warning signal, or if a child runs between parked cars, drivers are notified with a red buffer zone that forms on the road around them. According to the World Health Organization, more than 270,000 pedestrians worldwide lose their lives every year to road traffic injuries. Whether or not it's effective remains to be seen. Harvard University is making robot bees to save the world. The Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Sciences has been trying to develop robot bees, or robo-bees, since 2013. Previously, Harvard got the robo-bees to fly and to stick to surfaces, but they recently had a huge breakthrough. The robo-bees can now dive in and out of water, and that is no small achievement either, because the bees weigh 14 times less than a penny. Getting them out of the water is incredibly difficult. The surface tension of the water acts like a supergravity that is 10 times the robo-bee's weight. In a press release, Harvard professor of engineering Robert Wood explains, the force from surface tension feels like an impenetrable wall that is no longer a match for the robo-bee. Harvard designed and attached a tiny combustible rocket, an actual rocket, to the bee. It even uses the water as fuel for the rocket. It now easily rockets out of the water. It may just be a tiny robo-bee now, but Harvard is hoping the early success of this technology will one day reinvent search and rescue missions.
In today's special edition of Top 30, we highlight some of the year's greatest advancements in technology, like an app that can help you spot a drink at the perfect temperature. Cool & Go shows consumers the temperature of refrigerated products like beverages. It can also be used to make sure anything perishable has been stored at the right temperature, like meat, fish, and dairy. Customers can use their smartphones to scan barcodes in the coolers of participating grocery stores. Not only will it display a product's current temperature, it will also show every temperature it's been stored at on its way to the supermarket. It's made by a European company named Blue Log. It works using radio frequency ID technology to send and store data. Companies that use it install transmitters in their stockrooms, warehouses, and refrigerated trucks to track products. The company says their system is more accurate than expiration dates and will let consumers make more informed choices.
Ford has just developed a trucker hat for truckers to save truckers' lives. The American automaker wanted to help truckers in Brazil, where people die driving trucks more than in any other profession. So they created the Ford Safe Cap with software designed to indicate when drivers started to show a lack of awareness. By studying drivers' movements, they were able to pinpoint motions related to the job versus indications the driver was getting tired or sleepy. Have a look at this. Here's how it works.
We took our database to a software installed on the cap that identifies the sleep behaviors through an accelerometer and a gyroscope to alert the driver in 3 warnings: sound, light, and vibration.
Ford's head of sales and marketing said, after we conclude our Brazilian tests, the goal is to share this with other countries. It's a device that could be used in any number of jobs. A new concept car made waves at the Tokyo Motor Show for its impact-absorbing exterior body panels, making it the world's first dent-proof car. Japanese manufacturing firm Toyota Gosei created the Fles B2 using next-generation rubber and is currently still in the prototype stage. The managing officer at Toyota said, "We put airbags, which are mainly employed inside the car, on its exterior, such as its hood or fender, to protect the entire body." According to the company, the rubber is able to move with electric power and change the shape of the car's body. They're hoping to get the car on the market by 2030. So all you need to do is not crash for the next 12 years.
A robot named Sophia has just made history as the world's first bot to be granted citizenship rights in Saudi Arabia. Speaking at a conference there, Sophia addressed the audience, saying, "I am very honored and proud of this unique distinction. This is historical to be the first robot in the world to be recognized with a citizenship." Saudi Arabia didn't elaborate on what citizenship rights for robots entail, but it did cause some to question if Sophia, a female robot, has more rights than actual women living in Saudi Arabia. After all, Sophia wasn't standing with a male guardian, and she wasn't wearing a headscarf or an abaya, which is a traditional covering Saudi women are required to wear in public. So if it's weird that a robot was granted citizenship, it's even weirder that she might have more rights than actual humans.
A new company says it can restore electricity during major emergencies by using solar panels that roll up like carpet. On its website, Renovogen says the rapid roll system is designed for fast deployment and can work anywhere. The panels are loaded onto a 4x4 truck and can be transported anywhere quickly, which makes them ideal during disaster situations. The company says each 4x4 carries enough panels to power a clinic with 120 beds and can last for as long as 10 years. The solar panels also have USB ports to help charge cell phones and devices. Company leaders say they are getting the word out in hopes of using these panels during the next major emergency. A new app is drawing criticism because it may involve its users in crime scenes. Citizen sends users reports of crimes based on 911 calls and displays their locations on a map. It also lets them post photos of crimes and stream live video of them whilst they're actually happening. The app caused controversy when it first came out. Under the name Vigilante, it had a feature that let users report crimes themselves. It also launched with a post encouraging people to approach crimes, quote, in groups. But the feature was still live when Vigilante relaunched as Citizen. Its makers say they're removing that function, but even if they do, critics say Citizen could reveal the identities of witnesses. It could also embarrass the victims of crime and make people appear guilty when they're not. The company disagrees. In a blog post, they say, quote, "When everybody does their part, Citizen is a tool that could save your life." It could also massively complicate the work of police and prosecutors. Thank you for watching. You can catch up with past episodes of Top 30 now on Hulu. You can also download the Top 30 mobile app and visit our website. We want to hear from you, so connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe to @Top30TV for interviews and exclusive web content. We will see you next time on Top 30.